What's going on, fam? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for joining me for another boot review. I am very, very excited for this one. I am trying out the laceless Tekela V3 Plus. This is the updated version. It's the blacked out version, my favorite color of football boots of all time, all black. I love the look of these online. We're gonna open up the box in just a minute. Thank you so much for joining me. Hit that subscribe button. Let's hop into the video. All right, fam, so updated from the version 3, I believe. Traditionally, the Tekela has been overlooked as a boot that was really stiff, really uncomfortable, terrible for breaking in, tons of blisters, basically one of the most horrible boots on the market. I've actually never tried a pair of them on in person before, so I don't actually know what they feel like. But I've heard tons of positive reviews from sort of the big YouTube channels, the Soccer Reviews for You, the Unisports, those types of guys who have millions of subscribers. Those are the types of, but they're not pros. And that's the thing that I want to very clarify with you. The reason that I'm doing these is because I'm actually a current player. I play full time. I train 5 hours a day, 4 hours a day. You know, I'm in preseason as we speak right now. And so I think my perspective might be a little bit different and maybe give you guys an idea of what a professional player thinks of a pair of boots as opposed to an amateur player or just a boot reviewer who have tons of experience because they've tried on everything, but a little bit different there. So this is, again, the updated version. It's going to be hopefully much softer and better fitting than some of the other ones. Ooh, something. You know what? I bet that's a shoehorn. We're going to bet on that. Subscribe to the channel if this is a shoehorn. Keep watching to find out. So, New Balance logo, basic New Balance box. This one's a little beat up because it was in the mail, which, again, happens. No stress about it. Let's open up in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Oh my goodness gracious. See, I tell you, black boots, all black boots with like a purple shine to them in New Balance, and then you've got the big N right there for Noah. Man, these are sleek looking. I really like the way these look. I genuinely think, like, New Balance, again, never tried I've never even had these in hand before. Wow. Let's get these out of the box really quick, and I'm going to take these out before we get into any of the feel portions, some of this paper stuff, and we will get this box out of the way. Clunk, clunk. Okay. So, New Balance Tekela version 3 Plus. So it is updated. This is the laceless variation. So let's talk a little bit about this boot. So this boot does not have a laced variation, or maybe it does, but it's a lower tier. They don't actually sell a top tier version with laces. And inside, there's similar to what the Tiempo Legend 8 had with that quad fit system, basically underneath the tongue. This is the same thing. So if I put my finger in this area, it goes in between the internal structure of the cage that holds your foot down and this top lace, like laces area right here. So it's got obviously this very, very thin like lacing area where there's no laces obviously because it's a laceless boot. And then internally, it's got a support, like almost like a Nike quad fit type mesh. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you that, but maybe you can see there. That's going to be really difficult. I'll try to get it on some B-roll that you guys are seeing now over this voiceover. But as far as softness goes, pretty impressed. It is pretty soft. So I'm going to compare this a lot to the, just for my own reference and for your guys's, because I've reviewed the Predator Freak Plus, which is a very similar boot in concept, I think, to this. Like grippy elements a little bit, obviously not as much as the Demon Skin, but it's a laceless boot that has a little bit of a collar to it. So that's something to consider as well. Does have conical studs, which we all know are becoming my favorite. The sole plate looks very similar to something I've seen before, and I am not remembering what it is. Similar to a Tiempo maybe, but it's really, really simple. It's just the 7 up here, 4 in the back. Conical studs, nothing crazy about it. This is the wide variation, so keep that in mind. These are the wide foot. I review, I will probably put this video up first because I'm so excited about these and to try these on, unless they fit like trash, in which case I'll probably throw the video out. But if you're seeing this on YouTube, it means that I really like these. This crazy weave pattern they call Kinetic Stitch. That is what this upper, this coating or whatever is made of. It's supposed to give you good structure while also giving you decent softness and stuff to it. There's definitely more structure to these, I think, than those Predator Freak Plus. So check out that video of mine that I did the review on when I was down in Australia, because I actually played training sessions in these. And lucky for you guys, tonight I have a training session down at Starfire Sports, which is where the Sounders train. I'm doing a fantastic pickup game with a bunch of friends down there, including some Tacoma Defiance players, USL guys, blah, blah, blah. High level stuff, amazing. I'll try to get footage of that. If there's no footage of that, it's because it's pouring rain outside and I don't want to bring the camera. But either way, I will check in after to let you know how they go to actually play in. But I'm going to play in these and do a play test because I am that excited about the wide variation of a laceless boot. I don't think the regular variation of these would fit because they are laceless. The only reason the Predators fit is because the toe box is so ungodly wide. It's crazy. This sole plate looks a lot more normal fitting, but again, more material up here to create a much wider fit. So hopefully these fit really well. So let's talk a little bit about what this boot is, what it stands for. My guess is it's probably marketed as a control boot. Again, I don't believe that New Balance does a very good job, partially because they probably don't have the budget even close to compared to the big three or the big four if you count some of the other brands in there. They don't have the budget to send these to a lot of soccer stores for kids to actually try on, because if they do fit really well, again, how is somebody going to know, and why would somebody ever pick something like this over a Nike boot or the Adidas Predator or the Tiempo Legend, or I'm trying to think of, like, this reminds me a lot of the Phantom Vision, which only was on the market for, I think, a year and a half or 2 years or 2.5 years, maybe 3 years between version 1 and version 2. But this reminds me a lot of that shape, that very nice total knit control, have you locked in sensation. I didn't really like the fit of those Phantom Visions. That was just a me thing. If you loved them, I did try them on. Obviously don't have a review because that was before I had the YouTube channel. So I will try these on and let you know how they compare. But the Tekela did the update, and I think they took a lot of the complaints of what this boot was and turned it into something really, really cool. It's definitely much more. I have had the regular Tekela? No, you know what I did? It was at a trial. I think it was in Australia. One of my friends had these. I didn't try them on because they were a different size, but in doing this, I was like, man, these are not very good. Like, what the heck? And it was at a soccer store. Now I remember. Hey, subscribe for my memory. That's awesome. Cool. Okay, it was at a soccer store in Perth. I was looking at some boots. It was before, those, the white and gold and black Predators. They were the 0.1, like 18.1s or 20.1s. Predators 20.1s. I have a review on them on my channel probably a year and a half ago now. They were a very early boot that I wore and really enjoyed. And it was at that soccer store that I didn't try them on, but I had a pair of the V3, I believe, just like the regular version 3s in hand. And they were so stiff and so just like gross feeling. I was like, nah, this is kind of dumb. These ones feel a lot different, I'm going to tell you. And they're the wide variation, which they only sell online. I've never seen them in stores before, and I'm very excited. So let's go over kind of a ranking system for how these look, how these feel. Looks wise, this is I was going to say 9 out of 10. This is like a 8 out of 10 for me. 8 out of 10 for me. I love an all black boot with a slightly different, like dark purple, dark green, or dark blue accent here. I think it looks absolutely stunning. This Kinetic Stitch stuff does kind of look like a brain, which is a little weird, but yeah, whatever, They from a distance, they look really cool. I really like the way these look, like from a distance. As far as the materials go, it does feel pretty premium. They are pretty soft. They're definitely not as soft as a Predator, because the upper of the Predator is very, very soft and it's super moldable to your foot. Again, we'll see how these fit in the training session tonight, and then obviously just in general. But I'd say for durability and sole plate design and everything else, I'd say probably more of like a 6.5 out of 10. That being said, if they're super comfortable, it's not really going to matter. Weight-wise, pretty light. I think they're lighter than the Predators, which is great. Same New Balance insole as most New Balance boots have. I think all the New Balance boots have this, except it's just a different logo. So instead of Tekela, it would say Furon. And this has InfiniGrip cushioning, which they're so thin. There's no cushioning in this. I don't know why they say that. Whatever. Let them do what they're going to do. And put this back in here. It'll take me a while, so, stay tuned. Overall, I'm really excited about these. If nothing else, they look really cool, and I think these are awesome. And as far as a laceless boot goes, I'm hoping I like them better than the Preds. I did enjoy the Preds. The problem with the Predators, though, compared to these, is if you notice how wide, let's see if I can do this. Perfect. The camera's gonna focus on the boot. If you notice how wide the entire silo is, the entire boot on both sides, that is a good thing for wide-footed players who are wide right here. The downside of the Predator was that it was mega wide in the forefoot, and then it was super slim in the midfoot, which is where I'm really wide. And so I could fit up here in this area, but really couldn't fit back there. So that's something that you got to think about when you are looking at your foot shape and the shape of a boot. If you want a wide-fitting pair of boots, this might be something that you go for instead of the Predator, because if you have a really wide midfoot, the wide version of the New Balance boot might be something that fits your foot. Let's find out in the on-feet portion of the video. I'll see you guys in just a second for this excellent try-on portion. I'm so excited to get these on feet. Let's hop into it. All right, fam, we have the Tekela version 3 Plus Pro in the gorgeous black colorway. I'm very excited for these. I'm really stoked to see how these fit and feel on feet. Let's just do it right away. I've got my handy dandy little bright red shoehorn. These actually came with the boots. What's funny though, is that they also have the new updated version of this boot in this color. And my guess is that whoever, soccer.com, whatever company dealt with these, threw one of the red ones or pink ones or whatever in the black box. So whatever, it's a shoehorn, it works. Let's put these on. I am very excited to see how these fit and feel. Ooh, whoa. Okay, aside from trashing my finger just now, these are awesome. Okay, I've got to get this so that internal cage that I spoke about earlier, that one, when you put your foot in, gets a little bunched up, which is kind of frustrating and annoying, but whatever. If they're comfortable. Wow. Okay, let me put both on before I give you my full reaction, because this might be a very interesting review. Oh, geez. Super tight. Goodness gracious. Okay, shoehorn, that's what they're for. They work, go figure. Wow, okay, so immediately, size 9 US. Dude, these fit awesome. Really well. I'm very impressed with how comfortably wide these boots are. They do legit feel like a sock. They feel perfectly wide for my feet. I have a little bit of space in the toe to they're up right against the end. They're not crushing me, right? But right against the end. I've got a tiny bit of space, maybe a centimeter, half a centimeter. But I've got enough room and they're soft enough where I can move around, which is super cool. As far as the heel goes, it's not the most comfortable heel, but it's definitely not the worst heel that I've ever had in my life. Wow, okay. I'm really kind of shocked and a little bit impressed by these. Very cool. Yeah, wow. I don't really know what to say. Yes, they look amazing. They're like a 9 out of 10 football boot for me as far as looks go. I think they look incredible, but they're super comfortable. I reckon if I had a good pair of grip socks that had grip up the heel, these would be amazing. There would be no slippage. It'd be totally great. These fit really, really well. I'm so impressed. The lockdown, like, is probably not the very best, partially because it's a laceless boot, and also it might be just, again, not the right fit for somebody's foot, so you slip around a little bit, but with grip socks, it should be totally fine. Stud pattern is great. I love the conical studs. It's kind of a no BS. There's enough stud that you have that kind of have that fit and feel, but you also don't feel like it's too much, which is awesome. For wide-footed players, man, I might recommend these for a laceless pair of football boots over the Predator, just from the standpoint of that midfoot being super, super thin on the Predator Freak Pluses. Hopefully in the next generation of Predators, they fix that, but right now it's like there's a ton of pressure on that width, which I don't think is that awesome. But these actually are wide in the midfoot, which I think is so cool. It's super valuable. It's awesome for a player like myself who has a really wide midfoot. These actually feel like they stretch. I'm going to go play with these for my training session tonight, which is kind of crazy, but I'm going to try. We'll see how long I last in them. Hopefully get some footage of that for you guys. But if not, I will definitely be back for a final conclusion. But first impressions of these boots, guys, very, very cool. Like super, super fun. They're very interesting to have on feet. I love the fact that they're wide. I love the fact that they feel like a sock. They feel like they hug every little part of your foot. And the upper is a lot softer than what I think the old one was, considering the update. This is the updated version, so that's awesome. Let's fast forward to some footage or an update back at the house after the training session of the final conclusion of these Tekela version 3 Plus, and see how I go in the actual training session. See you guys in a bit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is the next day, so I didn't get any footage because it was raining and it was crazy windy, so apologies for that. However, I did get a chance to play with these for at least a little while. I actually took them off, and I'll tell you why in just a sec. So as far as fit and feel actually playing football, these are really comfortable boots. I'm pretty disappointed with how the lockdown is. Basically everything from here back, from like where this collar starts into my heel, was really slippery and slidey. There's a really good chance that if you have a different shape foot to me, then it could be really beneficial for you. So what my thought is that this is a wide variation, right? So they probably made everything from here all the way down a lot wider, maybe not the sole plate, but again, the upper. And that also means the heel might actually be a little bit different. I don't know that answer perfectly well, but the heel might be a little bit less wide than, or excuse me, more wide in this one than in the other one. For my particular foot shape, I'm super wide, everything from here up, but then my heel is actually pretty small. So it's a very particular type of foot shape. And for somebody like me, my heel was slipping around so much that I actually got blisters really quick, which I never get blisters. So I ended up taking these off after about, I'd say, less than 20 minutes of play. And so again, that's not a negative thing because they were, well, that's a negative thing for me, but what I would say is that if you have a really wide foot, you have a wide heel, you've got, pretty fat feet, so to speak, and not, yeah, you know what I mean, wide feet, really wide feet and kind of bulky feet, these actually might be a really great option for you, but again, make sure you get the right size. I had the correct size, but my foot shape is just wrong for this boot. And it is really comfortable when you slip in and you're not moving really solid. Like I could walk around in these and coach, no problem. They'd be super comfortable. They feel really nice. But as soon as I start to move in the way that I would in a normal training session with a professional team, or even with the pickup game that we had last night with a lot of rain play. We had a rain player there from the women's professional side. We had a Division I college recruit. We had a Sounders Academy player. We had all this other stuff, right? You put that all together at that level, I don't know if I'd recommend these for a laceless boot. Even if I had some pain on the outside of the Predators, I think I would still pick the Predators over these as far as lockdown goes, and that just comes down, I think, to material and technology, right? Adidas has got so much more money to deal with when it comes to developing boots, so I think they do a better job on the laceless end. That being said, if you do have really, really wide feet, both in the heel and in the upper part, in the midfoot and the forefoot, I think these might be a good option for you. Definitely try them on, get the right size, but again, try them on before you go and try and purchase these and wear these for a free kick session or an actual training session. I just warn against that. Overall fit and feel, I'd give these a 5 out of 10 for me, because I think they look amazing, and that's the only thing that keeps them in the 5, 4, and 5 range. Otherwise, these would be like a 2, because they're comfortable, but they absolutely have zero performance benefits for me. And that's a problem, because I can't wear them for training, games, free kicks, anything, because I have no intention of getting blisters or getting injured. So that's my review, guys, of the New Balance Tekela version 3 Plus Pro in the wide variation. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that review. If you did, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Like the video if you got value from it. As always, be awesome. Take care. I'll see you guys in the next video.